Behind the spotlight. Why don't I look like them? Eyes hazel brown, skin fair without criticism, nose sharp enough to be admired. Why don't I get treated like them? Always glamorized, not afraid to show off their beauty, never having peculiar stares, but admiration. Why am I harsh on myself? For not looking the way they look, for having brown skin, and being a rare vision, as others idolize those who fit into our society's beauty standards. I should be proud of the person I am and the person I grew into. I am unique, with dark brown eyes that are innocent when I smile. I am beautiful, with a pure soul that complements my charm. I am a morena beauty, with a complexion that glistens as it gets hit by the sun. Yet why am I still put down by others for the way I look?
I love white. White is clean. White is pure. White is beautiful. Moss Beau makes my skin whiter, healthier, younger looking. I'm at my most beautiful with Moss Beau Placenta White.
Moss Beau, whiter skin in 14 days.
White plus papaya only takes a week. Helps make my skin so white. Make my skin so smooth. Palmolive Naturals White Plus Papaya. May 100% natural orange papaya extracts para ang skin whiter at smoother feeling in 1 week. White Plus Papaya. My skin so white. Para sa puting pangjosa. Palmolive Naturals White Plus Papaya. Feel your skin and soul sing.
Scholar Twalin Wintu writes, "Everything has a surface, a membrane that gives it form by differentiating between inside and outside, below and beyond." She further insists, most often, we call this surface a skin, calling attention to its function as cover, protection, and display. Now, according to historical biomedical frameworks of Western science in the field of dermatology, skin materialized as surface conditions marked by blemishes and diseases whose treatments were usually localized and surface level, like a bruise, a cut, or a wound. However, as physicians began to recognize the skin's ability to protect from disease and external conditions, skin essentially became an organ from which its own properties and functions concealed the hidden workings and failings of the body underneath. Accordingly, skin materialized through the colonial imagination as the seal between the body and the external, ever-changing, unstable environmental conditions around it. Now, at the same time, skin emerged metaphorically as a symbol and physical marker of separateness, boundedness, difference and distinction, racial, gendered, and otherwise along axes of health, power, and aesthetics. Did you get the influence from like social media or like from the people around you? Like what made you try to go blonde out of all the different hair colors?
Yeah, just like knowing that like, oh, like lighter skin, lighter complexion, everything, like lighter hair, like that just incorporated into like me being pretty. So I was just like, oh, maybe that's another way for like me to feel like good about myself and like good around everyone. Cause like growing up, I think I wanted to like please other people, quote unquote, or like make them see me as beautiful. Cause I never had that growing up. I never had that type of affection from others. I did from my parents. My parents are not that affectionate, so it's kind of hard. So like whenever I hear like comments about like, oh, you're so pretty and stuff like that, I was just like, oh, I want that too. So then, I thought changing up my look would do that, but it didn't.
And now put another way, skin became both object and allegory for the scrutiny and tension between race and beauty, where white skin valorization emerges as a critical site of material and metaphorical articulations for gendered and racialized Asian beauty. And so from fading scars and darkened skins To the attempt to alter the inevitable, these stories and memories and histories of race are mapped both materially and metaphorically onto skin. And so skin, in other words, is not simply where race and beauty clash and are contested, but it is the material and metaphorical site that bears witness to the processes of gendered racialization that regulate, govern, and control the stakes around how we have fixed and mapped race onto skin and around standards of beauty. Now, recognizing that skin bears the wear and tear of time, of labor and leisure, and of layered memories and histories, I ask, how do these stories of skin reveal the stakes between race and beauty? And how do these stories of skin re-narrate the fraught and decolonial relational struggles against US empire, anti-Blackness, and Indigenous dispossession? And to answer these questions, I bring together semi-structured in-depth interviews with Filipinas and settler-occupied Hawaiʻi, and political cartoons from the 1890s to demonstrate how these stories of skin move us beyond colorism and toward anti-Blackness among Filipinx settlers in occupied Hawaiʻi. Looking into skincare, I would say, feel a need to use like skin whitening, brightening, lightening products, or
not personally, but I do recognize that they do use lighter people for like products, and like these products wouldn't even be like lightening products. Like, I don't know if you know the Filipino brand for your hair, Silk.
I think
it's like a shampoo. Yeah, it's like a shampoo conditioner, but like there's always white women on it, and it's kind of just like, why? You know, it's not even like a whitening product, but that's like straight from the Philippines.
Yeah.
So like they're marketing like these like whiter complexion or lighter complexion people to like you know, lure people in to buy their products, and it's kind of just like, wow, like y'all don't want to put me on there.
Katrina's comments demonstrate how whiteness is linked to the notions of youthfulness and beauty. Turning toward history, we can see how this allurement of whiteness is a product of colonization in the Philippines and other trans-Pacific territories during the 1890s by US empire. One historical example is featured in the 1899 Puck magazine cartoon, School Begins, where the masculine and militarized presence represented through Uncle Sam looms over dark-skinned students in the first row who are labeled Cuba, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, and the Philippines. Other racialized students and people are depicted throughout the classroom. In the back of the classroom near the chalkboard, there are students holding books labeled California, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and Alaska. By the door, there is a Native American student reading an upside-down book labeled ABC. Outside the door, there is a Chinese boy staring into the classroom, and in the far left corner of the image, there is a black boy cleaning windows. At a glance, this image communicates the figure of American tutelage and how these groups are subordinated under white supremacy. Put another way, this political cartoon reveals how power does not operate uniformly to subjugate different groups. As newly acquired territories, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, and the Philippines are materially represented as dark-skinned, infantilized, and uncivilized students compared to the light-skinned civilized students who represent the previously acquired territories of California, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and Alaska. For the Chinese student who stands outside of the classroom, for the Native American student, and the black boy wiping windows, these racist depictions communicate the historical and political moments of anti-immigrant, anti-indigenous, and anti-black regimes of violence, domination, and control in the 1890s. In this way, while white supremacy is ubiquitous, power does not operate uniformly as it unevenly racializes different groups of people. Put another way, these groups' differences are structured in complex unity, with varying oppressions animating the system of white supremacy by using dark skin to index unruliness tied to uncivilized peoples and lands. Materialist approaches to skin calls attention to the processes of racialization that inform how we care for, maintain, and alter skin. Metaphorically, this reorients and challenges us to read racialized bodies and skin not as separateness, boundedness, or difference, but as connectivity and relationality, where beauty and race can be reworked to decenter whiteness as the ubiquitous backdrop of Asian beauty. Put another way, skin as material makes visible the tensions and conflicts that engender the everyday struggles of altering one's appearance, enduring denigrating comments about one's appearance, and revisiting the memories of abjection and undesirability. Now, as a metaphor, skin maps the geographies and terrain and historical tensions of race where settler colonialism and US empire concurrently racialized dark-skinned bodies, Filipinx, Black, Kanaka Maoli, and otherwise as abject or undesirable. In this way, our skin reveals, rather than conceals, the enduring impacts of settler colonial violence, allowing us to think about how we might reroute beauty to contend with, embrace, and ultimately repair what has been altered, bleached, or cleansed. As we continue to grapple with the struggle for anti-racism, decolonization, and indigenous sovereignty in settler-occupied Hawaii and across the Pacific, I offer Afro-Asian Indigenous Relationalities as a tool for resistance and an ethic for thick solidarity, as scholars Roseanne Liu and Savannah Shange write in response to the 2014 killing of Akai Gurley, a Black New Yorker, by Chinese-American police officer Peter Liang. It is a thickness, writes Liu and Shange, that can withstand the tension of critique, the pulling back and forth between that which we owe and that which we share. Indeed, similar to how skin is composed of connective tissue, I believe that by revisiting the histories and memories and stories of skin, we can begin to share, feel, and build alternative possibilities for resistance, community, and care across lines of difference and beyond impasses of race.